India is absolutely furious at Donald Trump. Prime Minister Modi was ready to meet face-to-face with Donald Trump on Tuesday at the G7 to confront Donald Trump over serious issues that have made India absolutely furious. But as you know, Donald Trump was too cowardly to stay more than a few hours at the G7 on Monday. Donald Trump quickly fled to his safe space, back to his bunker in Washington, D.C., after it was too difficult for him to be around responsible adult leaders at the G7. Donald Trump did not meet with Prime Minister Modi, which was supposed to happen on Tuesday. He did not meet with Zelensky, which was supposed to happen on Tuesday. He did not meet with Mexico's popular president, Claudia Sheinbaum, on Tuesday, and other world leaders who had meetings set with him. So let me explain to you what Prime Minister Modi was going to confront Donald Trump about, and how Prime Minister Modi spoke with Donald Trump by phone on Tuesday and yelled at Donald Trump and put Donald Trump in his place, and then had India's foreign minister deliver an address to the nation describing what went down on a 35-minute phone call with Donald Trump. Of course, the American press is not really covering this in detail here, although some are. So I want to let you know what went down. So Prime Minister Modi is livid that Donald Trump keeps trying to take credit for the ceasefire in May between India and Pakistan. This goes to the heart of India's sovereignty and India's pride in their military and the operations against terrorist bases after the terrorist attack in the Kashmir region. India says Pakistan reached out begging for a ceasefire after India's successful military strikes, that it was a bilateral discussion, and the Trump administration had absolutely nothing to do with it. If anything, India says the Trump administration was trying to basically pump up Pakistan and say that Pakistan's going to come after you. Pakistan is ready to deliver a massive blow to you, to which India said our military dealt with that, and the Trump regime did not do anything. Also, Trump's personal family, Trump and his family, did a crypto deal with the Pakistan government for millions and millions of dollars, and they announced that deal online. A organization, a company that the Trump family has about a 60% ownership in, World Liberty Financial, they announced the following on April 28th. Right around when those terrorist attacks in Kashmir took place. So this company's controlled by the Trump family. They say World Liberty Financial has officially signed a memorandum of understanding with Pakistan. It was an incredible experience meeting with the Pakistan Crypto Council and the leaders shaping the future of crypto. We're proud to be building the Pakistan to drive innovation forward. This is just the beginning. So India is basically saying, look, the Pakistan Crypto Council is all about gaining personal influence with Donald Trump. And look what happened on Tuesday. Donald Trump hosted the Pakistani army chief. So Donald Trump met with Field Marshal Asim Munir, who is the chief of staff of the Pakistan army, in the White House. And Modi could have met with Donald Trump in person on Tuesday, but when Modi heard, wait a minute, you're bringing the Pakistan chief of staff of their military into the White House, and then they connected it with the crypto deal, and we're wondering, did that have anything to do with it? It could have been. And Modi was like, I'll do a phone call if you want to do a phone call. So Trump then called Modi on Tuesday. So let me tell you what went down in that phone call right here. So I'm going to show you a video right here. This is India's Foreign Secretary, Vikram Misri. And Vikram Misri first talks about how Donald Trump called Modi on Tuesday, how Modi and Trump were supposed to meet together at the G7, but Donald Trump left. First, let's play this.
The meeting between Prime Minister Modi and President Trump is set to take place on the sidelines of the Group of Seven summit. President Trump had to return to America quickly, which is why this meeting did not happen. After this, at President Trump's request, the two leaders spoke on the phone today. The conversation lasted approximately 35 minutes.
Now, in this next clip I'm going to show you, India's Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri, here he talks about how Prime Minister Modi conveyed to Donald Trump in no uncertain terms, stop saying that you did the ceasefire deal. You had nothing to do with it. Stop making it up. You had nothing to do with this negotiation. Cut it out. Stop it. You don't believe me? Here is the address to the Indian people by India's Foreign Secretary, Vikram Misri. We had to translate it into English so you can hear it on AI, though. Here, play this clip.
Prime Minister Modi clearly told President Trump that during this entire episode, there was never any discussion at any level about an India-US trade deal or US mediation between India and Pakistan. The discussion to halt military action occurred directly between India and Pakistan through existing channels between both armies and was made at Pakistan's request. Prime Minister Modi firmly stated that India has neither accepted mediation nor does it do so and never will do. There is complete political unanimity on this subject in India. President Trump understood the details explained by the Prime Minister and expressed support for India's fight against terrorism. Prime Minister Modi also said that India now sees terrorism not as a proxy war, but as a war.
Now, on Tuesday at the working session of the G7 that Trump was too cowardly to show up at, Prime Minister Modi was mocking Donald Trump to the world leaders there. Here, Prime Minister Modi is speaking to French President Emmanuel Macron, and here Modi says, "So I hear nowadays, Emmanuel Macron, you have to fight on Twitter. You're a Twitter fighter now." And they're mocking Donald Trump for his social media posts. Watch this.
Nowadays, you are fighting on Twitter?
Now, I know that was a quick clip, so let me show it for you one more time. Let's play that clip right here.
Nowadays, you are fighting on Twitter?
Now, I'll show you, this is an example of what India is very pissed about. And this is what led to that phone call on Tuesday that I just shared with you between the foreign minister of India, or between Modi and Donald Trump, and the foreign minister of India explain what went down on that video that I showed you. So there's dozens of clips like this, but here is May 30th, 2025, where Donald Trump talks about the deal that he's most proud of is the India and Pakistan deal, because they were going to go to nuclear war, and Donald Trump said that he saved the day by dangling trade in front of them. Here, let's play this clip so you can hear it for yourself. Let's play it.
I think the deal I'm most proud of is the fact that we're dealing with India, we're dealing with Pakistan, and we were able to stop potentially a nuclear war through trade as opposed through bullets. You know, normally they do it through bullets. We do it through trade. So I'm very proud of that. Nobody talks about it, but we had a very nasty potential war going on between Pakistan and India. And now if you look, they're doing fine. That was getting very bad. That was getting very nasty. They're both nuclear powers. The Pakistan representatives are coming in next week. And India, as you know, we're very close to making a deal with India. And I wouldn't have any interest in making a deal with either if they were going to be at war with each other. I would not, and I let them know.
Did you know that the liver is the second largest organ in your body? It's responsible for over 500 functions in your body, but for some reason, liver health doesn't always get the attention that it deserves. Dose for Your Liver was formulated to cleanse your liver of unwanted elements, aid digestion, and maintain your body's filter. Why does this matter? Well, your liver is the second largest organ in your body and is responsible for over 500 functions in your body. It acts as your body's filter, flushing out unwanted elements and breaking down what you consume into essential nutrients. The liver produces and regulates cholesterol, stores vitamins and minerals, and impacts digestive and metabolic health, amongst many other things. Dose's science-backed formula promotes liver function, aids digestion, eases bloating, and even boosts energy levels. Clinical results. In a double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trial, Dose for Your Liver lowered liver enzyme levels by 50% in over 86% of participants. Stick with Dose and feel the incredible benefits over time with more energy, better digestion, reduced bloating, healthier liver enzyme function, reduction of brain fog, and better sleep. One Dose for Your Liver shot is equivalent to 17 shots of turmeric juice. Dose is gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, and vegan. Save 30% on your first month of subscription by going to dosedaily.co/Meidas or entering Meidas at checkout. That's dosedaily.co/Meidas for 30% off your first month subscription.
Now, here's Donald Trump on May 12th, 2025, taking credit for it as well, so you can hear for yourself. Let's play it.
The strength and the wisdom and fortitude to fully know and to understand the gravity of the situation. And we helped a lot. And we helped also with trade. I said, come on, we're going to do a lot of trade with you guys. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. If you stop it, we're doing trade. If you don't stop it, we're not going to do any trade. People have never really used trade the way I used it. That I can tell you. And all of a sudden they said, I think we're going to stop. And they have. And they did it for a lot of reasons, but trade is a big one. We're going to do a lot of trade with Pakistan. We're going to do a lot of trade with India. We're negotiating with India right now. We're going to be soon negotiating with Pakistan. And we stopped the nuclear conflict. I think it could have been a bad nuclear war. Millions of people could have been killed. So I'm very proud of that.
Now, even after the phone call on Tuesday with Prime Minister Modi, earlier in the day on Wednesday, when Donald Trump held that bizarre press conference announcing that he was building gigantic American flags with huge flagpoles in the north and south lawn of the White House, Donald Trump said the following about Pakistan and India, and he was saying how he deserves all of the credit and why the media doesn't give him enough credit for the deal, even after he spoke to Modi. Here, play this clip.
With the Pakistani Army Chief of Staff, what are you looking forward to achieving diplomatically? Well, I stopped a war between Pakistan. I love Pakistan. I think Modi is a fantastic man. I spoke to him last night. We're going to make a trade deal with Modi of India. But I stopped the war between Pakistan and India. This man was extremely influential in stopping it from the Pakistan side, Modi from the India side, and others. And they were going at it, and they're both nuclear countries. I got it stopped. I don't think I had one story. Did I have one story written about it? I stopped the war between two major nations, major nuclear nations. I don't think I had a story written about it, but that's okay. You know why? The people know. The people know.
Mr. President,
did anybody write that story about the war? Did you write it?
we wrote one.
We all wrote it.
Did you write it?
We, just one more on
You
the
wrote
Iran
it.
President.
When
does your patience run out with?
To get more adjustments that need to be made for Marine One departures and arrivals?
No, we put it so that Marine One is very far away. We did it in conjunction with the Air Force, with everybody, and everybody signed off on it. We have to have it far away. It's very far from Marine One's out there. It's out in the field. So you have to have a certain distance. We're about 3 times that distance. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody.
So then later that day, and by the way, you heard Donald Trump referencing him. He was referring to the chief of staff of the Pakistani military, Field Marshal Asim Munir. But then later in the day, with the Juventus football club behind him, when he was holding that other presser, here's what he said went down. He says how it was an honor to meet the Pakistan chief of staff and what an honor it was. And here's what he says. Let's play it.
Reason I had him here, I wanted to thank him for not going into the war, just, ending the war. And I want to thank, as you know, Prime Minister Modi just left, just a little while ago, just left. And we're working a trade deal with India. We're working a trade deal with Pakistan. And they were both here, but I was with Modi a few weeks ago. He was here, actually. But now we speak to him, and I'm so happy. There was a deal that 2 smart people, plus, they had people on their staff too, but 2 very smart people decided not to keep going with that war. That could have been a nuclear war. Those are 2 nuclear powers, big ones, big nuclear powers. And they decided, so I was honored to meet him today.
Now, during that same press conference, you have Donald Trump also, lying and saying that Iran wants to show up at the White House. Iran wants to, do this meeting with him at the White House. And again, it's just like Donald Trump creates these fictions and just makes up these conversations that don't take place. Play this clip.
In the end, they decided not to do it, and now they wish they did it. And they want to meet, but it's a little late to meet, but they want to meet, and they want to come to the White House. They'll even come to the White House. So we'll see. I may do that, but it's a shame it could have been done the easy way.
Now, Iran denied Trump's claim that they wanted a White House meeting. This came from Iran's mission to the UN. Quote, no Iranian official has ever asked to grovel at the gates of the White House. The only thing more despicable than his lies is his cowardly threat to take out Iran's supreme leader. Iran does not negotiate under duress, shall not accept peace under duress, and certainly not with has-been warmonger clinging to relevance. Now, you remember Donald Trump did this with China. Remember when Donald Trump lied and said that he was having all of these conversations with Xi Jinping before he ever even had a conversation with Xi Jinping? It's like, of course we had conversations. Remember that? Here, play this clip.
We're talking.
Have you ever talked directly to President Xi?
I don't want to say that. It's just not appropriate.
But you're speaking. Sorry. Has he called you directly, President Xi, or reached out to try to facilitate a conversation?
Well, you'd think it was pretty obvious that he has, but we will talk about that soon. It's not that important because, honestly, we're going to have a deal. I believe we're going to have a deal with China. And if we don't, we're going to have a deal anyway because we're going to set a certain target and that's going to be it.
And so finally, let me just play you one more time that clip of Modi with the French president mocking Donald Trump for his Twitter posts. Here, play this clip.
Nowadays, you are fighting with Twitter.
So again, you hear India's foreign minister saying you didn't mediate anything. You had nothing to do with it. And that was a very critical address that India had to give to its people after all of Donald Trump's lies. And one of the things that's actually becoming a major barrier to a trade deal with India at this point is Donald Trump's continued lies over and over again about doing the ceasefire and that he was responsible for it. And India's begging for trade. And India's like, look, we're a sovereign nation. We did this. Our military was involved. Stop trying to be the central figure in our world. You had nothing to do with it. And that's Trump's MO in everything. I think California Governor Gavin Newsom said that as well. Trump either creates problems or then invents fictitious worlds where he becomes his own Marvel superhero, where he's really the villain in the sovereign affairs of other countries or just in the developments of the world, or he just injects himself in things that are not things that he's doing. And he's getting mocked internationally. Well, tell me what you think, but I thought it was important to lay that all out in a way that you probably haven't seen anywhere else on American media. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.